we normally talk about stuff that you and I love, right? We talk
Yeah.
about stuff that like, oh, it's invisible infrastructure. It's, something that we have like direct experience with, films and data centers and, networks and security and risk and yay. And we love all that stuff and logistics. Like, but this is, yeah, no.
I hate this.
The,
I hate it so much.
I hate it so much. All right. So I was trying to do, and I don't know what changed in the last couple of years, but I was trying to do a basic search on Google yesterday, and I am constantly getting the stupid image grids, all like constantly, and I don't know why. It says, "Are you a human?" or "I'm not a robot," or whatever the little stupid checkbox is, and I check it, and most of the time, I get one of the little, the little image grids, the little click the squares to hit the traffic light. I get it all the time, multiple times a day. I don't get it. I don't understand why. So I'm sitting here staring at the grid, and there's the pole. And the pole of the traffic light, and it goes on to the next square. Is that the traffic light? Well, like, is just the thing hanging from the pole the traffic light? Is the whole thing the traffic light? Like, I don't know. Or is it just the lights that it's the traffic light? And I get it wrong. And it gets me another one. Crosswalks, right? Bridges, steps, whatever. I think, it was crosswalks. And okay, it drives me nuts. The little crosswalks. Something's wrong with the image, and it's like pixelated or something. So is that it? Is that, I'm not sure. Like, was it a crosswalk? Was it not a crosswalk? There's images that are faded. Like, yeah, that was a crosswalk, but it's not anymore. Is it still a crosswalk? I don't know. I don't know what a crosswalk is. And I did go through like 3 rounds the other day. So to prove to Google, it's not, and it wasn't my bank, wasn't my email, wasn't anything critical. It was just a freaking search. I had to prove to Google that I wasn't a robot. I know I'm not a robot. Renee, you know I'm not a robot.
I know you're not a robot.
Freaking Google should know I'm not a robot. And yet, here I was failing a test that, as it turns out, an AI could pass with 100% accuracy.
I had one last week. It was bicycles. Like, click all the squares with bicycles. And there's this one that looked like a scooter. Like, it was a bicycle with an engine on it. Like, what is that?
It's
a
that
moped.
A bicycle?
And it has 2 wheels. Is it a bicycle? I don't know. I clicked it. Wrong. And then the next grid was storefronts. And I'm staring at an awning. And I'm like, it's an awning. Is it a storefront? Is it open? Like,
I don't know.
What if it's been closed for years? I don't know. So I'll click it again, and this will go on and on and on. Right? I hate this stuff.
I hate this stuff.
And you know what? For me, it really is the like the tire just goes a little bit past that square, but you don't see it in the next square.
Yeah, do you
like,
click it? It's
like
a puzzle piece.
I hate it so much. And the thing that gets me is the indignity of it, right? It's not just annoying. It's that I have to prove I'm human. I know I'm human. You know I'm human. Why is the burden of proof on me? And what does it say about the system that the test it uses to check if something keeps failing and the machine keeps passing it? Like, I can't make it pass, but the machine can? Like,
It is, right? This is why I picked this, because it's something we hate.
I showed up like I had before. You asked me, prove you're real. I lined up quiet at the wheel. I didn't know what you were keeping. I didn't know the cost was mine. I clicked for you. Every square, every line.
All right, folks. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Nostalgic Nerds podcast, where we talk about frustrating history of technology and what it teaches us about the present and the future. Tonight, if you didn't figure it out already, we're talking about CAPTCHA in all of its various guises. It's that little puzzle. Have you seen the new ones where you have to slide the thing from one side to the other to
Why
make
do
a
we have to
puzzle.
keep inventing them? Just
I
leave it the way
know,
it
I
is,
know.
right? Just leave it. Just leave it.
It's the little puzzles, right, that stand between you and basically everything you have to do online. And it turns out there's a lot more going on behind those image grids than you actually think.
It's one of those technologies that everyone uses, everyone hates, and no one ever stops to think about what it actually is, where it came from, or what it's really doing. And once you know what it's really doing, you're going to be as angry as I am. I swear to you. I swear. You're going to be as mad as I am.
Probably. It's going to be like a call to arms in our. All right. So, Renee, before we get into the history, let's start with what CAPTCHA actually is. Because I think most people just think of it as this, annoying thing you have to do before you log in or whatever. But there's a real concept behind it here.
God help me. CAPTCHA stands for Completely Automated Public Turing Test to Tell Computers and Humans Apart, which is one of the great backronyms of all time. I mean, it should go into the Hall of Fame of the worst acronym ever. It's got so many more words in it that the name was coined in 2003 by a guy from a team at Carnegie Mellon led by a guy named Louis von Ahn. He was a grad student at the time. I swear to you, I'm going to do a report to see how many things grad students have done at Carnegie Mellon that ended up being the biggest pain in my rear end.
Yeah.
Because this isn't the only thing. This isn't the only one. I swear to you, why they were able to just walk around that building over there at CMU doing all kinds of craziness, I'll never understand. Anyway, we're going to come back to him because he's basically the main character of this whole story. He goes on
the villain,
or the villain, right? To found Duolingo, by the way, which is a whole other conversation. But the core idea is simple. It's a reverse Turing test. Alan Turing asked, can a machine convince a human that it's human? CAPTCHA flips that. Can a human convince a machine it's a human? And the fact that we're increasingly bad at it should tell you something.
That's right. It tells quite a lot, actually. Well, let's go back to the beginning, where we start with CAPTCHA. So, because the concept is older than the name itself, when did we first need to tell humans and machines apart online? What was the actual problem that this started with, Renee?
So the first real-world version shows up at Alta Vista. That takes me back in 1997. Remember Alta Vista before Google?
Little mountains.
Yeah, it was like before everything. Alta Vista had a feature where you could submit your website URL to the search index, and bots started flooding it. Thousands and thousands of automated submissions stuffing the index with spam sites to game the rankings, right? So their chief scientist, Andre Broder, had this idea. He studied how optical character recognition worked. OCR at the time could read clean printed text, but it couldn't read distorted text. I bet it couldn't read script either. Humans could. So he studied his office scanner manual.
Of course.
And figured out everything that makes text readable and then deliberately reversed it all. He warped the fonts, added noise, rotated characters, overlapped the letters, and he started showing these distorted images to users, asking them to type what they saw. If you got it right, you were probably a human. If you didn't, you were probably a bot.
I
can't believe that's how we got here.
I hate the stupid letters, man. I can't. And then you hit the little like the microphone or the little speaker button to hear it, and you can't really tell what it's saying either because the bots can interpret that.
Is that a capital Y? Is that a lowercase y? I don't know.
I don't know. All right, so the protection works though. So spam submissions dropped 95% overnight, 95% with one filter. And I think that's what's we're sitting with for a moment because, that's what the solution actually is. It's basically a lock on a door. You prove you can read this warped text and the door opens and you're through. And for a while, the lock worked because there was a gap between what humans could do and what machines could do. Humans could read the distorted text, machines couldn't. And CAPTCHA sat right in that gap. The entire model depends on that capability gap existing. Okay, remember that. Remember that. That's important.
So when I think back through history, think back to the 1920s and the speakeasy where you like knocked on the door and
Oh,
that
right.
little sling slid over and somebody's
Right.
like, say the password. And if you didn't know
Yeah.
the password, you were lucky if you didn't get beat up because they thought you were fed. Like
Yeah.
you better hope you ran when you didn't know that password, right? On D-Day, when they dropped the paratroopers into where D-Day was like France, right? They dropped them into France or
Normandy
Germany or
stuff.
wherever they were
Yeah.
going. But they dropped them
Normandy.
in and they dropped them with these clickers. They called them crickets, but they were like kid toys. We use them now to train dogs. Clicker, clicker,
Oh,
clicker,
right.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they would drop them in with that. And the whole thing was like, it's pitch black. Like
Yeah.
you're all really separated. Like you don't know you don't friendly. Are you foe? I don't know. So you'd click twice. And then the person, if they were American, they'd click once and you'd be like, I won't shoot you, right?
Yeah.
But if you click twice and no one clicked back, you had two choices. You either shot them or ran because they're not, they don't have a clicker, right? You
Yeah.
know me. I lose like stuff. I would have lost the clicker. I'd have been dead in 10 minutes. And then phone freaking.
Somebody would click it and you'd be like,
I'd be like,
click. I'm doing a click. Click.
Don't shoot me. Yeah. And then phone freaking. Remember we talked about phone freaking?
Yeah.
You remember that? So if you called into a phone freaking bridge before you ever said a word, somebody would say to you, what's the frequency? Like, and you're supposed to say 2600 hertz. But if you didn't say it fast enough, they just hung up on you. Like, we've been doing this forever.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So once we start doing it with CAPTCHA, the approach spreads. Different versions of distorted text CAPTCHAs show up across the web over the few years. Yahoo deploys one in 2001. Lots of sites start using them. And then the graduate student,
our boy.
Luis von Ahn, comes back into the story. This is 2007. The same guy who coined the term 4 years earlier. He has this realization that changes everything.
Which is?
This is
People
are spending millions of hours a day solving these problems every day just to log on to things. And all that human effort, all that cognitive work is being thrown away. It's wasted the moment you saw it. So von Ahn's, his insight is, what if you could make that effort useful? What if every time somebody solved a CAPTCHA, they were also doing something productive? It makes me want to kick him, honestly. So he builds reCAPTCHA. And the way it works, I guess it's clever, right? It gives you two words instead of one. One word it already knows the answer to. That's your security check. That's the one that proves you're a human being, right? The other word is from a scanned document that OCR software couldn't read. So your answer helps digitize that word. So every time you solve a CAPTCHA, you're also transcribing a piece of a book or a newspaper that a machine couldn't read on your own. I'm co-opted by a machine to be a machine.
That's right.
My eyes twitching. Go ahead.
So I knew that there was the one word and the second word. I didn't know that the second word was a training thing, but now it makes a lot of sense. That the first big project to use this was the New York Times archive. Millions and millions of articles going back to 1851. They're scanned as images, but not as searchable text. So reCAPTCHA users, they transcribe them word by word without even knowing it. So by 2009, they'd done over 5 billion words. Let me tell
only
you.
Started in 2007.
Exactly. Okay, this to me is the personification of enshittification. The doctoro. Like, how did the platform get worse?
Right?
Like, think about 5 billion words in just a few years' time. Like, that's messed up. That's like you stole from me. You stole from me.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Google
if you
buys,
had to pay interns for that, you'd have been
exactly. Google buys reCAPTCHA in September of 2009. And now, of course, because it's Google, right? It's not just newspapers. Google has this other project, which, has some dubious ethical boundaries, let's say. Google Books, where they're trying to digitize every book ever published. Like, I have real problems with Google
I do
Books.
too. Just
yeah. Anyways, By 2015, they've scanned over 25 million books. And reCAPTCHA users are clearing up all the OC errors. They transcribed enough text to fill more than 17,000 books with better than 99% accuracy, all done by people who just wanted to check their email.
17,000 books. People sitting at their desk typing squiggly words to get their email, and they're digitizing the entire New York Times archive without even knowing it. I don't know whether to be impressed. No, I know. I'm not impressed. I'm angry. You know what? This is why I'd rather be an orca. Like, this is it. I'd rather be a killer whale. At least no one would do this to me. Right? Did you ever hear this? It's an app called Zooniverse. Have you ever heard of it?
No, I don't know that.
So you download it from the, I don't know, the App Store, and you're signing on to research projects, and you're actually named in the research paper that someone's going to use CAPTCHA.
Oh, is this the crowdsource research?
Yeah. So they're trying to get you to participate in research, and the research I would participate in is like you're essentially teaching a model, right? So you're doing the machine learning piece of it. They need you to go through 100,000 images, and in those images, like I did one, like tell me what kind of galaxy this is. Is this a spiral galaxy? Is it a globular cluster? Is it a spiral arm? Is it like, what is it? And
That's
so
cool.
you would look, right? And clearly this was stuff that was taken from Hubble, right? So like you're just looking at galaxies, like this is what it is, this is what it is. They train you so you don't get it wrong, but that's what you're doing. And when that project is done, they close it out and you go find another one. I also did one where it was trail cams, and your only job was to say, there's a mountain lion in that picture. Like they didn't care about anything else. It was just a mountain. Is there a mountain lion? Like, and you'd be like, no, deer, no. Oh, mountain lion. Like that was your job. And you were just training a model to recognize a mountain lion. I think the most interesting thing I did was they had transcribed all of the Civil War records. You know, when you would join the army, they had all the Civil War records done except for the freed slaves. The freed slaves who joined the Union Army, those records were not done yet. So, and they're all in cursive, which means there was no way to just read it, right? And I found out that cursive may as well be ancient Aramaic because no one reads it anymore, right? And so I thought, okay, I still write in cursive, so I know how to read it. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go do that one. And it was, so you would just see like this person enlisted, this is where they were, this is where they came from, here's what, regiment they're in and all that stuff. And so, it was really, really interesting, but I knew I was doing it. I signed up for it.
Yeah.
And I was happy to participate, right?
Yeah.
This crap, to think that I helped digitize books for Google makes me want to kick Google.
Yeah. It does. It definitely, right? Because, like, oh, yeah. I mean, did they have the right to digitize the books in the first place? Like, questionable,
That's the first
right?
question. But you have to, it's almost like a social experiment. They used to do these on Facebook all the time, too. Like, will you click this button? It's like, this is manipulative crap that you shouldn't be allowed to do just because I'm on your platform. Like, that's how I kind of feel about it. And to think that someone comes back and says, I have a good idea. Let's do it like this. Oh, and I'm going to sell that to Google. Probably made him a multi-millionaire. That makes me mad too, right? Like on the backs of, like, he did nothing on the backs of all these other people who were probably being fed that prompt way more often to get this stuff done in a reasonable amount of time. Like, that's what makes me mad. Like, maybe I didn't need to do it for 2/3 of the time. Look how mad I am. If I were an orca, I wouldn't be this mad.
So I mean, when I dawned on this idea, it was something that it came up, and we'll talk about it in a little bit here, but the internet episode, we were talking about the internet episode, right? And something just kept turning in my head over and over. And on the one hand, this is a very clever idea, right? To use wasted effort and you make it productive. Great. Interesting. So, our villain, Von On, he even has a villain name.
No, I'm going to look him up. I bet he looks like a villain. Hang on. Go ahead. Keep talking.
He's probably like totally nice guy. He sees something that no one else does. Great. But on the other hand, it's the pattern and the acceptability of the pattern, and it just gets uncomfortable. Like when you follow it forward, the user is doing the work, but the platform captures the value, and the user doesn't know. Like, the consent model on this is just messed up, right? They don't know they're working, right? They think they're trying to get, the puzzle to prove that they're not a robot or whatever to get to their email. There's no consent there, except for some probably user agreement thing that nobody ever read in the first place. It just, makes me mad.
So he
All right.
looks an awful lot like the CEO of Anthropic. Like, put that guy's
Oh, really?
picture him
Yeah.
in your head, and that's him.
Okay.
That's
not super villain. Not super villain. Maybe we should
No.
cut him a break.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe.
We'll
maybe
call him
not.
the subject of our.
The
We
subject.
won't call him the villain. We'll make him more neutral.
I'll have to find him on LinkedIn and send him this here. Anyway, so okay, all right. So let's go forward a little bit.
But from this point forward, right? From this point forward, we can only blame Google. I mean, he sold it.
Yeah,
right.
I
So
know.
he's no longer the evil
He's
person.
no longer
Google
the evil.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'm okay with Google being evil, aren't you? I'm totally good with that.
I mean, they kind of are. They kind of are.
Yeah,
All right,
okay,
so
perfect.
around 2014, Google shifts reCAPTCHA from text to images. And the reason is straightforward, right? And you can guess, right? The capability gap closed. AI and modeling and systems, got better at reading distorted text than humans. They got better than humans. Google's own research showed that AI could solve text captures at 99.8% accuracy. Humans were getting 97.5 accuracy.
It's my fault. It's my fault because I can't tell a capital Y from a lowercase y.
But you see, this is where like something wrong happens, right? The security system designed to distinguish humans from machines had become something that machines did better than humans. And there's you remember we talked about the capability gap. They needed a new gap. Okay, so how do we find a new gap? We find one in images.
This is when we get the grids. Click all the traffic lights. Click all the crosswalks. Click all the bicycles. Click the fire hydrants. Street view photos chopped into squares. And this is the part that I think most people don't realize. When you click on those squares, you're not just proving you're human. You're labeling training data.
Yeah.
Every time you click a square that contains a traffic light, you're teaching a computer vision system to recognize the traffic lights. You're annotating images for machine learning for free. Again, didn't sign up for this, but I'm doing it, right? Oh, by the way, do you remember? Google owns Waymo. Waymo builds self-driving cars.
Have you seen how bad the Waymo cars are, though, now? Like, have you seen how they get stuck? And they get confused.
Can't turn around.
It's horrible. That's
horrible.
So,
but Waymo builds self-driving cars. Self-driving cars needs to recognize what? Traffic lights, crosswalks, bicycles, fire hydrants, storefronts, pedestrians, all the things you've been clicking on for the last 10 years.
All right, so the connection took me a while to see it, right? The traffic lights, the crosswalks, the bicycles. These are all the things a self-driving car has to identify in the real world to not kill somebody. And we've been building the data set for them, one CAPTCHA grid at a time.
Again, I'm being manipulated by algorithms. I'm being manipulated by software. It's happening. No wonder I feel paranoid. Like, I'm right. I'm constantly... Maybe Wi-Fi is going to give me brain cancer. I don't know. But I feel like I'm being manipulated constantly. And here's the proof. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So the numbers are staggering on this, okay? A study from UC Irvine calculated that reCAPTCHA and related systems have consumed approximately, breathe, 819 million hours of human time. So when Sam Altman talks about freaking, training time for humans is, you should take that in consideration before you blame OpenAI models and their electricity usage. 819 million hours to train these image systems. And that's 93,500 person years.
Oh my God.
If you valued that at a U.S. minimum wage, it comes to roughly $6 billion. Okay, I don't make minimum wage. You don't make minimum wage.
No.
It's definitely a lot more than $6 billion of unpaid labor. And the return to the user is that you get to log in. That's it. That's it. You get to access the thing you already own. Meanwhile, Google captured training data that helped build AI systems worth potentially, I don't know, maybe trillions. The study called reCAPTCHA a tracking cookie farm for profit masquerading as a security service. And that's the research at UC Irvine. Renee, do you remember in the internet episode, we talked about how early platforms extracted value from communities without returning it?
Yeah, communities created the content, the platform monetized the attention, and we ended up, this is why it makes me crazy, we ended up being the product, right?
Like, how do we get tricked into this every time?
Right? Because we're living in the matrix. Like, let's just admit it. Let's just admit it.
It's the pattern, right? It's the same pattern over and over again, but this time it feels worse. Because at least on social media, you kind of chose to post something. You chose to create you put your pictures or whatever. You knew you were participating. Here, you're just trying to get through the door. You didn't sign up to train a self-driving car. You didn't agree to annotate images. You didn't agree to, digitize the New York Times or help Google digitize books illegally. You just wanted to search for something on Google. And the platform turned that involuntary interaction into training data worth billions.
And you know what? If I were actually doing that to train something to find Bigfoot, I'd be fine with it, to be honest with you. It's just self-driving cars? Like, why was I doing that? I would have been happy to find Bigfoot. Is there Bigfoot in this? No.
Okay.
Is there Bigfoot in this picture? No. Is
That
there
would be
Bigfoot in
funny.
this picture? No.
That would be a
I'd
good...
have been down for that.
Yeah.
I'd have been... It gets worse because the AI was trained on all that human labor can now solve the test better than we can. In September 2024, researchers at ETH Zurich published a paper showing that a modified version of the YOLO image recognition model can solve reCAPTCHA version 2 with 100% accuracy.
Yeah.
Humans manage 70, like,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
70 to 90%. We trained the thing that made our own test obsolete, which makes sense because we're about to do it again. And we're still doing the stupid test. We've
Yeah.
made it obsolete. We know we're already bad at it, yet we're still doing it.
Yeah.
That's where we're at.
I know.
There's another layer that I think it's worth knowing about. CAPTCHA farms. Okay, this really makes me crazy too. These are actual companies, real businesses with management structures, APIs, quality assurance, and they're in India, the Philippines, and Vietnam, where human workers with their card keys key in the morning, sit down in their cube, and solve CAPTCHAs for bot operators. If a bot encounters a CAPTCHA, it sends the image to the farm. The human solves it and sends back the answer. The whole cycle takes seconds, right? Workers earn, this is terrible.
Yes, it is.
A human mind is a terrible thing to waste. Workers earn about $1 to $2 per 1,000 CAPTCHAs solved.
Yeah.
It's not much, but in some economies, it's enough to be worth sitting in front of a screen all day. And you know what? At the end, at least you're not moderating for Facebook. Like, at least all you're doing is this, right? Because it could be a worse job.
It's about $100. It's about $100 a month, which it's not a living wage. Like, in those markets, it's not a living wage. It's not.
So,
it's
yeah. Well, I mean, everybody takes
subsistence.
advantage of everybody. Yeah. So the security system designed to stop bots was created an entire labor market of humans working on behalf of the bots. So we really are the batteries that the machines are using to create the alternate universe known as the Matrix. It's real, people. It's real.
Yeah. The humans in this case are on the wrong side of the door. That's the thing, right? The game was supposed to keep the bots out, and instead it created a microeconomy where humans open the gate as bots. For bots is the job.
I'm working for the bot. I'm working for the bot. I'm not working for the man. I'm working for the bot. That's not okay. I guess, you know what? Maybe that's where we're all headed. I don't know.
Did you see this? I can't remember where I saw it, but it was some stupid video, and it had these. It was built by a deep fake or whatever, and it had Musk and Altman and somebody else, and they're pudgy and they're older and they're talking about how great the models are and all this stuff, and then it shows the humans, and the humans are all like buff and built. and they're in a gym and they're literally generating electricity to run their models.
There you go. Yeah. That's what Sam Altman wants. I'm just going to say it. Like, he wants us to be the electricity. Like, we're going to be running in hamster wheels because he's not going to be able to afford that electricity bill. It's going to be us.
No. I mean, it's the thing that's just got me so tuned up about this is that, the capability gap has disappeared again, right? You could train a model over and over, and then the gap disappears. But then we're left with the crappy experience. And we know it's a crappy experience. Google knows it's a crappy experience. Facebook knows it's a crappy experience. Everybody knows it's a bad experience, and yet, we're still doing it. Like, why?
Because we still have to prove we're humans. We still, maybe every time the technology catches up with it, it's just like, all right, you need to figure out a way to be more human. Like, maybe they could figure out a way to be less human. Like, maybe the bot should just give it a break, right? Like, just give it a break.
Yeah.
But they can't. They never get tired. That's why people like them. And then, so then there's the latest version, reCAPTCHA version 3. It was launched in 2018. You've probably never seen it, and that's the point. There's no checkbox. There's no image grid. There's no puzzle. It just runs in the background on every page that implements it. It watches your mouse movements, your keystroke patterns, how you scroll, how fast you click, your device fingerprint, your browser history, and it generates a score between 0 and 1. Well, that's pretty binary.
Yeah.
0 means you're definitely a bot. 1 means you're definitely a human. Your entire behavioral profile is, compressed into a single decimal point, and you never see it. You never consented to it beyond the terms of service on a page that nobody reads.
Plain and simple here, it's surveillance and mass surveillance with low value. Because at the end of all that watching and all the behavioral data collection, all that tracking, outputs a number. Oh, yay, a number. A probability. Are you human? That's 0.7. Maybe, probably. We think so. It sees everything and understands almost nothing. And the behavioral data it collects, that's not just for bot detection. Of course not. Why would it be? That's another data stream feeding the same machine, right? Users become the product without a return benefit again. And the return benefit we do get, the bot detection, still broken because I'm still clicking on freaking fire hydrants.
It's literally what our intelligence services use to track, our enemies. Like, we do the exact same thing, right?
Yeah.
Like it's what the CIA has, like malware sitting on computers somewhere in Russia, and it's doing all of that. It's looking at the browser, it's watching how it moves, it's watching how it types, it's actually keeping track of what it is. Why we knew the Russians were interfering in the election in 2016 was because Dutch Secret Service had keyboard loggers on everything in Russia. They were wired into the cameras. They could see people coming and going. They could see everybody. They knew it. They had transcripts of what those people were typing. And they gave that all up to let America know that, something's up, right? So the same technology that is used to, to surveil foreign enemies, they're using on us. And that's so crazy. For what? What? So that I can get access to a web page that seriously doesn't matter? That's borderline crazy.
Yeah,
it's borderline crazy.
You get access to your email or your whatever. You get to do a Google search, but whoever is building the model gets to build a very close representation of how humans behave on a mass scale.
On a mass scale, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
No, I don't like it either. So I kind of look at it, just kind of step back for a second and think about it sort of differently because. And I really have been thinking about this since the internet episode and some other things. I think this whole approach is just architecturally wrong.
Of course you do.
Yeah. Because it's me. And of course,
yeah, of course you do.
Not that just the CAPTCHAs are annoying and the AI can beat them. The entire model of how we're trying to solve the problem is wrong, I think. It CAPTCHAs like a gate. It checks you once at the threshold, and then it trusts you. And this is so this is not how banking behavioral biometrics works, right? Banking behavioral biometrics checks you at every step of the way.
Mm.
This CAPTCHA stuff, like, once you pass the gate, it's trying to prevent the bots at the gate, right? Right? It's still the same model of the Alta Vista of bots spamming things. Once you get past that, well, a bot can still do bad things. You can do you can do whatever you want, past that gate. But the actual threat was never a bot getting through the door or the gate or the lock, right? The threat is what happens after. Bad behavior is what happens after the door, the lock, the gate, whatever. Spam happens after the door. Fraud happens after the door. Identity takeovers happen after the door. The gate is solving the wrong problem, I think.
Yeah, we've seen it before, right? Early online communities, they didn't have gates, Usenet, forums, bullet boards, right? Like there was no CAPTCHA, no identity verification at the threshold. And they were more civil, more functional, more human than most of what we have now because the community observed the behavior continuously, not once at the door, but all the time. Your handle had a reputation. People remembered what you said. And if you were rude or sloppy or cruel, there were consequences, not because a system enforced them, but because humans remembered and we used to have shame, right? And so you would behave yourself because you didn't want to get kicked out of the community. You wanted to participate. So the community had rules and you would follow them because if you didn't, you would get locked out of the community, right? And I think like that, yeah, those were the good old days where we knew how to behave.
We knew how to
Right?
behave. So what do you think happened then?
I There was accountability because everybody knew everybody, right? Like, I think now we're so anonymous. Like, I can go on to any social media platform, call myself anything, Calamity Jane. I can call myself Calamity Jane, and you don't know who I am, right? And I can
Yeah.
go say whatever I want, and I can do whatever I want. I can call you whatever I want, and I'm gonna because that's what we've devolved into. We've devolved it. We're all trolls, and we're all doing it anonymously, and we all, I think, there's a dopamine hit with that, and we actually really like it. And I think it's really sad. It's sad that like community doesn't matter anymore. We're not a
Yeah.
community anymore. We don't behave like that. Even in the forums, like if you join, I used to belong to a Simpsons, like obscure Simpsons group. Like it was really obscure. You'd have to come up with some really obscure stuff to be part of that group. Even to get in, it had to be obscure. Like what's Skinner's prison number, right? You'd be like,
Oof.
yeah, oh,
Wow. Yeah, no.
what was Jean Valjean's prison number? Because that's what it is.
Oh.
42601, whatever it was. It was Jean Valjean's prison number. But like, yeah, like what's the crazy cat lady's name? Eleanor Abernathy. Like it was something super like, and then you got in the group, and the group was so weird and obscure. It was really fun, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, a Nazi got in there, and everybody got mean, and everything got weird. And I'm like, you guys, it was fun while it lasted. I'm out.
Yeah.
And so even in those, captured groups where we all thought we had something in common, people still didn't know how to behave in those places, right? So I don't know. I think once becoming anonymous was something that you could do, and that we started getting that dopamine hit from being mean, like that, it was over. It was over. It's sad.
Yeah, I think talk about scale, because I think the scale piece of this is what why anonymous, anonymity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because communities got too big for human memory, right? And the platform didn't build systems that preserved the accountability, right? Can you imagine if I got an email from Facebook every time I said something mean to somebody? I don't say mean things to people, but if I did, like, can you imagine, right? They build gates instead, verify once and forget. And the gates were always easier to build than actual governance, right? Can you imagine governing Facebook? No wonder they don't want to do it.
Like, I mean, what, and you just like what you just said, right? If I was getting an email every time I misbehaved, and actual governance, like that's why people behave badly because there isn't actual real governance. So
I can get away with it. And I'm not even held responsible for it. I can say whatever I want, right? There's no,
yeah,
I have passed through, along with Facebook, I, Renee Murphy, have passed through indemnification. You can't hold
yeah,
me to whatever I said. It's free speech. It's whatever. Like, yeah, it's craziness. It's absolute
yeah,
craziness. All right, go ahead.
So the lock is broken, right? AI solves the puzzles better than we do. The invisible version watches everything and still only produces a probability. The CAPTCHA farms route around the gate entirely with cheap human labor. Like the whole model of verifying identity at the threshold and then forgetting is the same design flaw that broke online communities when they scaled.
And then there's the burden of proof. I have to prove I'm a human. I
Ugh.
know I'm a human. I
Jeez.
wish I was an orca, but I'm not. I know I'm a human. Every other
If there was a checkbox that said, I'm an orca, click.
orca, I'd be like, done. I'm an orca. If only. Every other trust system humans have ever built starts from the opposite assumption. In law,
Yes.
you're innocent until proven guilty. In social settings, you're trusted until you give someone a reason not to trust you. CAPTCHA inverts that. You're guilty of being a robot until you click enough fire hydrants to prove you're not.
I hate the ones where you click and it like you have to keep clicking because the things disappear, and they like it just keeps on popping up with more. Just keep clicking until
right? Yeah.
I hate that one.
And then there's the next group of things, and there's the next group of
Oh,
things. And you're just
gosh.
like, I want to
It's-
kill you. I'm not asking for like the nuclear, code. I'm not. I'm really not. I don't understand.
Like I've spent so much time, at the gate here.
Right? Like
like-
you're making me not want to come in. You're making me not want to hang out.
Exactly. Just let me in. I would actually rather just sit there for 3 seconds, So what happens? What replaces the gate here, right? There are some things that are emerging. Cloudflare, bless their hearts, has something called Turnstile that does behavioral analysis without sending your data to Google. So, yay.
Wait, don't
yay
they
for
have
them.
it? Don't
Yes,
they have it?
yes, but they actually have a privacy policy that they publish
Oh, okay.
around this. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Apple has private access tokens that use your device's hardware to prove you're using a real phone. I know some of the product managers on that. It's pretty good, and it doesn't reveal who you are. There are some proof of work systems where your browser does a computation in the background. Again, that feels a little, sketchy because the human cognition time isn't being taken, but the CPU time is being taken for some task that's, whatever. I'd be okay if it was SETI. Like, I'd be okay if it was solving SETI at home packets or something like that. But yeah, for a normal user, it takes, milliseconds. But for a bot running millions of requests, the computational costs, it's prohibitive.
And then there's the more radical stuff, right? World ID, the WorldCoin project uses, oh my God, iris scanning. Okay. You go to a physical device called an orb. Of course it is. It scans you scan. It's so Simpsons. Remember when Lisa
Yes.
goes to the museum and it's the Isis orb? Like this
Yes.
is literally right. Okay. So it's called orb. It scans your iris and you get a cryptographic proof that you're a unique human being. No identity attached, just proof of personhood. Over 9 million people. Can I just tell you something? Like this is why 9 million people have used it, but this is why I don't own VR headsets. Your eye is as unique as a fingerprint.
Yeah.
And the way your eye tracks when you read or when you're looking on a screen or anything, that's unique to you too.
Yeah,
No
it
two
is.
people look at the same stuff the same way and they don't do it with the same eyeballs. So imagine if your fingerprint had a fingerprint. Like that's how like unique it is to you.
Yeah.
Like it's why I don't trust anybody, especially not Meta, with that data, right? Like I would love to go Bigfoot hunting in VR. I would love it. It'd be fun. But no, I don't do it. I'm not playing with the eyeballs. I'm not playing with the eyeballs.
Yeah. I think there's definitely some ups and downs with biometrics. Like, I won't say where I was, but I was at a company and did some work in the biometric space. And we could literally break every single biometric. It didn't matter what it was. So there's definitely ways to attack biometrics. And I think there's some positive implementations and negative implementations. Positive implementations like Apple, the biometric data actually stays on the device that you own and it never leaves. And I think that's the model that most of these guys have been implementing in the last couple of years, which is good. But there are other biometric implementations that are bad, and you can't replace a fingerprint, and once its fingerprint is compromised, it's bad. But anyways, biometrics, it solves one problem, but it creates like 50 others.
Yeah, better bot detection at the cost of biometric data, more tracking, more invasive
Yeah.
verification. We keep building better locks.
Yeah.
Honestly, lock stuff that doesn't even need to be locked up. I mean, it's like putting more locks on the garage that's full of crap you wish someone would steal. Like,
Yeah. I don't know. There's something to be said for positive identity claim and proof, right? And that it establishes some sort of reputation, whether that's good or bad. But anonymity, like as much as I'd like to think that, we should be in a position where we have some anonymous, capabilities, anonymity creates so many other problems.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't have a problem being judged. I mean, I have a rating on Uber. It
Sure.
always surprises me too. Like, it's still pretty good, even though I'm the idiot who travels like once a month and then I forget to tip somebody. And when I open it to get a new cab, like a month later, I'm like, oh, I should have tipped them.
Oh no.
Okay. Like, yeah. So, like, you get it a month late. So you've
You
already
got
said something bad about me, right? Like, she
Yeah.
doesn't tip. What a scumbag. And it's like, oh, no, she did. Like, go erase that. I need a
Yeah.
5. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Isn't that what they do in China, though? In China, you have a
Social.
score.
Yeah.
Yeah, that social score gets you in and out of places, right? If you
Yeah.
have a low social score, there's a lot you can't do. I bet you can't even own a cell phone, right? But if you have a
Yeah.
really high one, then that means you're a good citizen. You align yourself well to the government. You can, do all kinds of things. But to do that anonymously, right? Like you don't
Yeah.
know who I am, but I have a good score. Like that makes it all the harder, right? Like although, yeah. I mean, yeah, you can anonymize me, but at some point you can put all that
Well,
data back together,
and
right?
and with large language models, at some point, does it become possible for bots to mimic good behavior, right? Reputational behavior, and then then what?
Well, why not? It can already do bad things. Why couldn't it do good things, right? Like to gain trust to do bad things. Like I could totally see that happening,
Yeah.
right? I could totally see that happening.
Yeah.
I mean, even prompt injections could like lead your bot that
Yes.
route, right? Like you
Yes.
could, yeah, you could. They're not smart. They're really not smart.
Yeah.
So
I think this is like, what do we say all the time, right? The
this is why
wants
we can't
needs.
have nice things.
Yeah, that's why we can't have nice things. All the behaviors, remain the same, but things get weaponized because of scale, right? The
Yeah.
technology gets better, and so that means you can reach further. Your scope gets bigger. The spread was wider. I don't know. This is like one of those problems that it's really frustrating. and the I think the problem I have with it is that the experience of the internet itself has degraded over the last several years, right? And, like, bless GDPR's heart, right? But after GDPR hits, all the cookies, like now I've got to approve, or select or
Yeah, we do in
reject.
California too. I realize like people in Wisconsin don't put up with this, but like in California, everything is like you have the right to say no to cookies, and I do. I actually do say no to
Yeah.
cookies. Like I do mess with that stuff. So I'm glad I have the right to do. We have
Yeah,
the right to
yeah.
be forgotten in California too. I can have all my stuff deleted from the internet every 45 days if I want.
Yeah, but the anti-patterns, like the bad UX, right? The guys that build the sites and the apps and all that stuff, they know what they're doing. They know what the anti-patterns are. They know what the bad UX is to try to keep your data live, to try to keep you using it. And I just, like, man, that's why we can't have nice things,
why we
because
can't have nice things again. But we're not the user. We're the product.
yeah, I know.
Right?
I know.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, if you can just default your head to that, then you're just like, yep, that's what happens. That's how you got, what was that, 815 million hours of work
Yep.
out of us? Like, it's because we're not a user. None of this is for us. None
Yeah.
of this is for us.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad, actually.
I think the alternatives that will actually work here are the ones that stop treating humanness as a gate, though, and start treating it as a continuous signal. Whether that's anonymous or reputation based or whatever, I don't know. But continuous, because that's what we do in behavioral biometrics in the banking industry, is continuous signal. But we're not using it to collect data, right? and and build models of your behavior to then sell your data as a product. We're doing it to make sure that fraudsters don't steal your money. So that's what continuous signaling should be.
Well, right. It's how fast I can type in a password. It's how it's
Yeah.
like yeah. And I actually don't mind that, right? I like in that regard, I think like if the more you can make my behavior, the way I behave, and someone's doing something different than that, and that's how you say that's fraud.
Yeah.
Like I think I'm okay with that, right?
I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that.
Because you're not turning it into a product,
Right.
But if then Google does that same exact thing and then productizes that, to sell the next coolest whatever, Gemini does this or whatever, like, I'm not okay with that. Like, I'd rather pay Google $5 a month or whatever.
Dude, that's how I felt about my smart meter. Like, I'd rather pay you $75 a month for you not to give me that thing. Like, I'd rather have a dumb meter. I'll pay the money. I don't want the smart meter. It knows too much.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to do a show about that. Like,
we should.
Like electrical metering or gas metering. Like that meter drives me crazy. Okay, good.
Nobody talks about privacy policies on smart meters, And they should.
They should.
If
you knew what that meter knew about you, I'm just saying.
I know. Anyways, we'll have to do one about that one. All right, so let's bring this to kind of a close here. So for the last 25 years, we've been clicking on distorted text and blurry photos of traffic lights. We digitized the New York Times. We digitized millions of books. We helped train self-driving cars. We created an entire labor market of humans solving puzzles on behalf of bots. And the AI we trained on our own labor can now pass the test better than we can. And we still have to click the stupid fire hydrants.
I'm going to think about that every single time I get one now. Every crosswalk, every bicycle, every blurry storefront. I'm going to deliberately get it wrong so Waymo hits somebody. Because that's what an orca would do.
But see, this is the irony. This is the total irony. Is like, because the bot and the ML is smarter than you are, and if you deliberately give it the wrong stuff, it already knows. It already knows. It can already solve them 100% of the time. Like, so, like, maybe that's the thing, right? Maybe that's it. Like, that actually proves that you're human if you can't pass.
Right? If I'm part of that 73% that just can't sort it out. Just can't figure out what's a bicycle. I think, listen, if you're listening, I think we should collectively get together and just tank it. Just tank it. Just get it all wrong all the time. Just go find a couple pages that are really irritating and just keep getting them wrong over and over. Can we get a bot to just get them wrong?
Or exactly. That's right.
Yes, we can create a bot to get it wrong. Love it. What a great idea. I can't be any more mad. I'm going to have to take a nap.
So this is, but see, this is where, like, you and I love tech. Like, I know a lot of times we say we hate tech, but it's not really that we hate. I don't.
I actually really like it.
Exactly.
I really like it.
Like, the promise of technology. We love, like, you and I, we really love the promise. Like, the utopia that could be at the end of that data center tunnel, right? But this is not that. This is bad. This is an anti-pattern. And I think, but see, this is, I don't know. The weaponization of technology is real.
I don't like being taken advantage of at scale. And I feel bad that people think they have to do that you have to use me as a guinea pig or use me as free labor or, use me as a product. Like, we really have to get away from that. We really, really have to try to get away from that. I just, it's not healthy. It's not fair. And that's not how things should work. Not for companies that are worth hundreds of billions of dollars, right?
Exactly.
Like, it's just not okay.
Maybe they're worth hundreds of billions of dollars because they exploit the labor.
Yes, that's exactly why.
That's exactly why.
If they had to pay for 98,500, human hours or human lives to get that done in 1 year, they would have. But no, instead we did, what was that crazy number? Like, how many thousands of books in 3 years? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's
millions.
crazy. Yeah. And you can't tell me, here's the thing. I don't think you could be able to convince me right now that you didn't make me do that more times than I needed to just so you could get your project done faster. Right? Like, I think that's what you did. You actually destroyed whatever trust I had in trying to figure out if you could trust me. Like, I'm done.
Bingo.
Like that. Yeah, I'm done.
Bingo. I'm totally with you there. Like, I don't know what has happened, but the browsing experience has gotten so bad. And it feels like it's because of these, stuff like cookies and stuff like these image recognition, trash. And you're right, it's violated trust. I don't trust any of these platforms that use this stuff. I don't trust them.
So, and I guess this is why if you have if you subscribe or you downloaded an LLM, ChatGPT or whatever, a chatbot, it's why you go there to search for the internet instead of to the internet.
Yeah.
Like the internet has become such a bad experience between ads and CAPTCHA and sponsored browser returns, like listing return. Like it's at some point you got to be like, okay, I got to cut through the crap. So yes, Sam Altman, I'm going to waste your GPUs on finding out what time CVS opens. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. That's exactly it.
But it's not. But the answer you get may not actually be the right answer.
It's going to be probabilistically close. So you know what? Good enough.
Close enough. Good enough.
That UX experience is so bad. Probabilistically good enough is good enough for me. There you go.
Enough. All right, folks. Look, if you like this episode, you were angry with us, please like, subscribe, share with your friends. You can reach us at nostalgicnerdspodcast@gmail.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
I need a drink. Bye, you guys.
I clicked for you. Every square, every line. I clicked for you. Work the grid so many times. Gave you everything you asked me to. You never once clicked back. I clicked for you. Crosswalks fading in the rain. You kept asking me again. I traced the edges, found the lines. I read the letters, learned the signs. You said it was for my protection. You said it was to keep me safe. I clicked for you.